So, was Nell Fletcher a side piece or a side chick? That's the burning question. We gonna get into it. Y'all, I went to the gym and came back and said this review is late. Better get it out now or never. So this is for 11 Marriage Huntsville, Season 8, Episode 3, New Beefcakes on the Block. My name is Shana, and if you're new here, please don't hesitate to subscribe. If you got anything out of this video, if you enjoyed it at all, hit the like, share, watch the video on through. Tell a friend and tell a friend about the channel because this is always a growing channel, okay? So let's go ahead and jump into it. Mel and Nell, they're playing pickleball. And when they got done, they was panting and breathing heavy, couldn't catch their breath. And I ain't gonna lie, I would have just been just as out of breath as they were playing that pickleball, okay? Especially with all that makeup and scarves on and wig. Ooh, child, it's too much, it's too hot, it's too heavy. So once they finished that, they couldn't even sit down and get a sip of water good because Melody immediately started interrogating Nell, asking her why she didn't come to the live podcast. And that's a theme for this episode. She gonna go and nag everybody to find out why they didn't come to this podcast. I said, is production behind this? Because why does it matter? Like, maybe now I can see, but everybody else, I'm like, girl, be for real. Anyway, so Nell made up some story. She's talking about some of the tickets were sold out and all that. And Mel was like, okay, but you could have called me and I could have sold you some tickets. Like, dang, I got the plug, I got the connect right here, and I still got to buy the tickets. You couldn't spot me 2 tickets for free? But in all seriousness, Carlos King is their boss. So I would think that he would have his cast, if he's in Huntsville, he would have the Huntsville cast front and center. But I mean, I guess not. So they move on to Martell going to jail. Melody explains the situation with Martell threatening to leak their private video, and how Coleslaw not only got her hands on the video, but then I thought she mentioned that Coleslaw's sister saw the video. Let me know if I heard that incorrectly. Yeah, this is, allegedly but anyway, I'm like, girl, Coleslaw, really? And even her seeing it is enough. No one else should see it but the 2 people that was in the video, okay? But I'm gonna just, ladies, be careful. I know she probably was thinking, okay, this is my husband. This is a safe space. I wouldn't be putting my face on a camera in nobody's video at all for any reason, no matter who it is. Okay, period. Not at all. And I mean, listen, I once was recorded, not to my knowledge. Okay, it was not. I did not give consent for this. I stumbled upon the recording, and guess who did it? My ex-husband, child. My ex-husband was the one who snuck and did that. So, I mean, I just really wouldn't put nothing past nobody. You think you can trust somebody, and you just never know. Anyway, Nell believes that because her son been in and out of jail, okay, because we know he got locked up last season. And then I saw a mugshot of him again after that. I don't know if it was an old one, a new one, I don't know. But I'm like, okay, I get it. Your son in and out of jail, so this is near. It's a touchy subject. But no. And what's going on with the cast? It seems like if you're a part of this cast, you might go in the slammer. Martell, Nelson, Destiny that got locked up again. What's going on in Huntsville? I don't know. They need to, maybe, I thought Huntsville was a growing city. Like, maybe the people need more work, need more jobs down there. I don't know. But anyway, Lynell Fletcher. Black innocent men don't deserve to be in jail. Not the ones who did the crime and they're doing the time. Now, I am a huge advocate for, fairness. The injustice system is the injustice system for a reason. We know how they do our Black men, especially more than any other gender, race, all that. Like, the system is not for us. It's against us, okay? We know that. There are men who are sitting in there innocent, who didn't even commit a crime, people who had small, petty crimes. I saw a Rikers Island documentary, and there was like young men, like 20 years old, in there for years, waiting for a trial. One was in there waiting a trial for stealing a charger out of Best Buy. It don't make no sense. And we know, before y'all even bring it up, we already know Black men and white people don't get the same amount of time for the same crime. It's not fair. It's not fair. It's not fair. But this does not apply to Martell Holt. Martell is guilty. Okay? So whatever happens, happens. Had he not done anything, there wouldn't be no reason to call nobody. The police went after him until he did what he did and left Melody with no choice. How much is Melody just gotta take it. And Martell he keeps getting to get away. No. So Nell mentions that her stepdaughter, because she asked Melody how she felt about Martell going on that blogger's YouTube channel. And then they move on to Nell talking about her stepdaughter, who's Chris Fletcher's oldest daughter. I think her name was Lexis, something like that, child. Anyway, we know they had a falling out with them last season when they wanted to argue at the dinner table to have a scene. Sheena fell out with them, and then Sheena interviewed on the blog and called Nell a side chick. Nell said she didn't know that he was married, but what Lexi didn't say was that he was separated and going through a divorce. Nell, come close, okay? That makes you a mistress, beloved. You are a mistress. I know some people want to be all, well, technically, if they were separated, if they were married, then she was a side chick. Yeah, and then y'all act like people don't separate and reconcile. Like at any given moment, they could reconcile and get back together. They're still married. So no, you're not off the hook because you said they were separated. And I've seen men saying they were separated, still sleeping in the same bed, living in the same house, going on date night. So let's ask the ex-wife if they were separated. Because he might have been saying they were separated, but she might be saying something else. Okay? She might not have known nothing about this separation until Nell got in the picture. Like, I don't, he was a side chick. Her, Nell and Kimmy were side chicks turned wives. And people don't want to hear, oh, and he was this, they was already broken up. Listen, you all, especially in the eyes of the law, everything, let him go today. And they still married. The side chick and can't fight it and be like, oh, well, they were separated. No, honey, it's going to the wife. Okay, I need you to understand. Then you turned around, you married him because you thought you was going to get some special, different kind of treatment. You thought you was different. He wasn't going to do you like that. Then he turned right around and cheated on you too. And then you were separated from him at one point, weren't you now? And then y'all got back together. Okay, anyway, rest of my case. Okay. So in the next scene, Stormy meets with her friend, Latricia. Latricia's a new cast member. Sunny might as well have been a new cast member. I'm gonna cut Latricia some slack because it's her first episode and we just getting to know her. But she seemed a little boring, like a little lackluster. But it's still early. We just getting introduced, so I'm gonna give her time. Okay. Stormy shares her struggle with conceiving and going through IBM. I don't know the difference between IBM and IVF, and I'm sorry, that's my ignorance. Someone explain in the comments for me. But she talks about her journey, and now her son is here, and she's just so happy to see him grow and all the things. And then she talks about surrogacy. And I'm glad that surrogacy and adoption, I'm glad there's other alternatives for women who are struggling. Everyone just thinks it's just going to be a cakewalk. You get pregnant and you just go through it, and that's it. And that's not always the case, okay? So Latricia and Letitia is just too close. And then when they call her Latricia and Tisha still too close. But I'm going to try not to get tongue-tied. Okay, she heavy into fitness, and she says I guess she's Destiny's fitness trainer. She said she been seeing Tisha at the gym. And Tisha said, hey, girl, can you train me as well? So she said she hasn't called Tisha to work out just yet because Tisha and Stormy had a falling out. Which, girl, that don't got nothing to do with you. I mean, this is business. Like, she didn't ask you to come hang and get some drinks. What are you talking about? But Stormy said that as well. She was like, girl, you just training her. Like, y'all don't got to be friends. And if they do build a friendship, you can have a friendship with Tisha that doesn't involve Stormy. You don't even have to talk about Stormy. So, I mean, and y'all gonna be on the show together, so you might as well get used to seeing her around. But Stormy is blaming Marcel for her and Tisha's falling out. Nah, girl. Mm-mm. You calling that man a BIT is what is the reason why y'all fell out. You called that woman's husband the B word, and she don't want nothing else to do with you. And do you blame her? Because if she said that about Courtney, what? Okay. So, Latricia. I'm gonna call her Trisha. Trisha talks about her first husband and her new relationship with her partner Ken. Stormy says Trisha's ex-husband would never come out with her, like he wasn't supportive. She didn't see him around. Trisha was always by herself. And Trisha said, like, after a while, she just felt like they was just in it for the kids. Like, that's why they was there. And I know this all too well, honey. Been there, lived it, got the t-shirt, all the things, okay? That is not the kind of relationship you want to be in. And I see it happening with women a lot. Every time you look up, they by themselves. I mean, if I'm gonna be doing everything by myself and going to all these events and things, I might as well be by myself. Why am I with you? Like, I gotta be making up excuses here at work. And child, no. I didn't realize for me, like that was like a need in a relationship because I never dealt with that prior to when I went through it. Like prior to that, whoever I was with, like you see me, you gonna see him because that's just how it's supposed to be. At least sometimes. Child, no, that's a need. And I never want to feel like that ever again. So Trisha starts talking about how she be arguing and she used to toxicity and he don't argue back. Girl, you got to get over that, okay? You got to let that go. So Stormy and Courtney go to look at classic cars, and this scene dragged on too long. I mean, this scene dragged on like hell. My goodness, it like wrap it up. It was boring. I'm happy Courtney is now on board with the surrogacy. They talk a lot about that and some other stuff, child. I don't know. I was on my phone. I tuned out. So later we see Latricia. It's the first episode, girl. I'm gonna get it, girl. Okay. We see Trisha. Something about the La, and because I wrote her name, Latricia. Something about La and Trisha got me like, but when I just say Trisha, it's easier to say. Anyway, so Trisha and Ken, I guess they in their home. I don't know if they live together or not, child, but they in somebody's house. And we get a little background on them. We know they're both heavily into fitness, so we can see it from that picture. Look at his arms, they're ripped. So she has an 18-year-old and a 10-year-old son and daughter from her previous marriage. He has a 13-year-old daughter. He said she's not biologically his, and I wasn't even gonna mention it because he like, look, she's not biologically mine, but she mine. He raised her, that's his daughter, period. Because then I heard through the streets that some people was like, oh, he's raising a child that's not his. What? That is like the most stand-up thing. That to me shows that now we don't know. I don't know if he's faithful and all the other things. You know, he don't live in Marriage Huntsville, child. I don't know. But when it comes to that is a stand-up guy. You don't get involved with somebody with children and get involved in their lives and then be like, ooh, never mind. I ain't talking to your mama. I don't want nothing to do with you. You don't do that to children. And then what? Especially I be like single mother saying this. Like, what? I don't understand. Or people who didn't have no father. A lot of people wouldn't even have a father at all in their lives if it weren't for their stepfather. Their father is their stepfather. And you taking on that responsibility. When you take it on, you take it on. I think that's a very stand-up act. I applaud him for it. There's so many other people when women do that with men, nobody bats an eye. But when a man does the right thing, like it's an issue. They always jump down Russell Wilson's throat for loving his family and raising all of his kids the same. Like, I don't understand. Waka Flocka Flame got his stepdaughter, who's his daughter, Charlie is his daughter, tattooed on him. Like the love, who raises the child, that's really the parent there. But I mean, and I'm appreciative because she said, and she's hoping that they can be a blended family. So she accepts his daughter Because listen, if he's raising a daughter, he said, this is my daughter, then you have to accept her. I was friends with someone who was dating a guy who was in that situation, and then she was like, "Oh well, I mean, but that's not technically his and all that stuff." No. If he said that he's raising the child and he's claiming the child as his, you don't get to be like, "Well, it's not really his." So what, you gonna treat the child differently? If he said that's a child, then he said that's a child. So I respect it. I really do. But I noticed that she was wearing a ring. It's like one of those rubber rings, like the band that you wear when you're going to the gym. So you don't have to, your real ring don't get banged up and scratched up and stuff. I noticed she was wearing that. But he said he was planning a proposal. So what you got that on for? If nobody proposed yet, y'all ain't engaged, what you wearing rings for? I don't know. It wasn't like a decorative ring or anything, but I mean, I guess you could do what you want. Or do y'all think they was already really engaged all along and they trying to pull a Clifton and Joy to try to pull a fast one on us so they can get a wedding special? What y'all think? Anyway, she don't really seem like she cares about him proposing. Like she like, okay, whatever it happens, it happens. Like she ain't in no rush. And again, is it because it already happened? Or is it because she was already married before? So she like, listen, when it happened, it happened. And like, fine with me. I know what's going to happen. So at one point, she mentioned that he had said he would never get married. But he did say, listen, when you know, when you get a good thing, like your mind can change. And that I appreciate. But I'm surprised. I wouldn't even, if I knew I wanted to get married, I wouldn't even date you if you said that you don't. So I guess I would have never even got there to find out. They discuss wedding plans and having a big family and all that. She talks about her ex-husband again, and I understand like it's a part. I don't know how long she's been married to him. I'm assuming it was for a while. I understand that was like a huge part of your life, but she talks about him often. Like, let's wrap this up. I don't want to really hear about that ex no more unless it like there's a reason to bring him up. I don't really want to hear about him no more. Like, what you and King got going on? I want to keep hearing about this ex. I mean, today we can end this today. Now, Ken says he has peace with Trisha, even though it was rough in the beginning because, she liked to fight and argue or something like that. But they have moved on since, and now it is peaceful in the home. Okay, shout out to them. So then in the last scene, we have Melody, Tisha, and Kimmy. They meet at a plant shop. I was like, do I want to try that? But not really. What I want to do is the candle making classes. I love candles. But Tisha mentioned the family taking a trip to Africa. And Melody going to say, ooh, Marceau didn't go by himself this time. Shady Melody is back, honey, when it's the original 3, okay? The shadiness come out. So Kimmy mentioned that her mom recently dealt with breast cancer. She said she had surgery. I hope, we're in the clear fully. It's just so crazy that Kimmy had to deal with it, that her mom. I'm glad they both are still here to tell the story. And of course, Melody was like, I didn't know that. Yeah, you didn't know that because y'all ain't really friends. But anywho, Mel asked Tisha if she still desires to work out of the home or if she just going to go back to being a stay-at-home mom. And Tisha was rambling on about being so busy with the kids' school stuff and all that. And in the PTA meetings and all that in the world, girl, you can go work if you want to. But the reason why you feel so overwhelmed is because you have a husband that doesn't help you. I remember one time she said he didn't even take the son to get a haircut. Like, you don't want to have that bonding time with your son. Why am I taking, I should not be taking my son to the barbershop unless I like absolutely have to when he has a father around, like literally in the same house. No, I hate going there. But she, she doing it all. Like, the kids is like, listen, with that first season when they was in that townhouse, they ain't never talk about what happened to that townhouse, but I remember. And the kids was like, where is mom? Why are you here? They don't like being alone with him. He don't want to be alone with them. Child, yeah, you the one that said you felt like a single married mom, and you probably still feel the exact same way. So Tisha asks about the Martell DV situation, and Mel tells her, like, girl, well, you should know because your husband gave a statement. And Tisha, girl, now why would you be the one to bring this up when your husband acting oblivious? Like, oh, I don't know what's going on. Can you clear it up? And when your husband gave a statement, girl, I wouldn't even mention it. I would have waited until somebody else brought it up. Like, Tisha, really? And then she's like, but they call him no. I thought you didn't know what was going on, girlfriend. Okay. Yeah, girl. That's why Mel don't really fool with you till this day. So Mel says she's gonna speak to Marceau. She said in her confessional she's gonna have to check him. Cause yeah, what was that? The least you could have did was just stay out of it. Like, I don't know. I don't know. So Mel had to explain the situation again. And as hard as it must have been for Kimmy and Tisha, the two pick-me's at the table, I know it was hard for them to have to say, maybe he just won't change. They had to accept and come to grips with the fact that there was no comeback. There was no justifying what Martell had done. Tisha had to be like, well, look, that's just how he is. He's just trash. Like, it just, I know it pained them. Like, it pained Nell to have to admit that Martell is raggedy. They've been fighting tooth and nail season after season because this season 8, but it's really season 36 if we count all the breakdown of the season A7 and season 7B and all that. We really on season 36, and for 36 seasons they've been trying their hardest to defend Martell until they just couldn't no more. Once they heard the real story, they was just like stunned. Kimmy was, cat got your tongue tied. Yeah. He's trash. I don't know how y'all don't know this, because y'all know him personally, and so y'all should know firsthand how raggedy he is, but okay. So Mel questions why they didn't check on her, and Kimmy talking about I did, and she was like, well, you text me, you didn't call me. Is that not checking on you? Like, what are you talking about? And furthermore, girl, y'all wasn't cool like that. You not friends with these people. You said you don't like them and you don't want them bothering you when y'all not filming. But then you're mad that they didn't bother you when y'all weren't filming. Girl, please. So Mel questioned why they didn't come to the podcast, because, this is her MO for the episode. She got to go around and nag everybody about this. And I mean, again, because they didn't want to. But I guess that's not good enough. Tisha said she didn't get a personal invite. And she was like, listen, I've been escorted out of your events before. So if I don't get a personal invite, I'm not going. And Tisha, this you're on point with. Okay, you hear me? Because, baby, no. I would never go to another Melody event ever again for the rest of my entire life. I don't care if I did get a personal invitation, okay? Remember, she did get escorted out of Melody's event that one time for some skincare. I don't even know Melody still sells the skincare, but it's the principle. Kimmy was like, she didn't come because of the millimeters. And the millimeters are intense, okay? They more intense than the Beehive, child. I don't know. Everybody like, look, they don't want nothing to do with Melody stuff because the millimeters is too much. I mean, y'all even got YouTubers not wanting to review the show because the millimeters just come on so strong in the comment section. But, y'all don't bother me too bad. Hey, millimeters, okay? We good on this side. Okay, don't sorry. Thank you. So they speak on Sunny and Destiny, and Kimmy said that the girl code was broken. And Mel starts cackling, and she like, girl code, Destiny, what? And I'm like, Melody, what do you mean? Like, what? Because Kimmy was like, girl, she ain't sleep with your man. Like, what you talking about? And right. Melody in that shade. Melody got that season 1 27 piece, and it's just coming. It's coming back to me. It's reminding me. Now stay 10 toes down behind Melody Rogers when it comes to Martell Holt, because Martell Holt is Martell Holt. But when it comes to these friendships, it's always been enough for me, okay? I don't know what's going on with Melody. I don't know. Because every time she's friends with somebody, she's always falling out with them. Like, everybody falling out with, like, it seemed like there's a problem. And the common denominator is Melody. Okay? But okay. And I mean, let's not forget, Destiny was really ready to kick Martell to the curb, like cut him off completely for that friendship with Melody. Melody didn't want to be friends with Destiny. So why are you acting like, yeah, Destiny said she knew Martell first, so she friends with him. Like, she could have been had him if she wanted him. She's too busy worrying about what's going on with Moses and Sunny. But more important, Destiny, what's going on? Why you get locked up again, girl? Did they say it was something about fraud and a scamming? What's going on? What's happening? Did the checks not clear from you coming back on the show? If the checks ain't clear, if you're not getting paid enough on the show, I heard Carlos King ain't paying everybody the same. Okay, if you're not really getting paid enough to be on the show, you might have to go get your 9 to 5. It might be time to go on Indeed. And I know, don't nobody want to work for the man and punch the clock if we don't have to, but it seemed like you might have to go that route. You tried the food stamp thing and you're still fraud and scamming, allegedly. It might be time to just go get a job and, maybe be a friend of, do this on the side or something. I don't know, Joe. But anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think about this episode. Let me know if I missed anything. Drop down in the comments. I'll comment back. Be sure to like the video and I will see you in the next one. Bye.